And you'll hear what Jared Goff had to say about it a little bit later on. But yeah, the fact that the head coach has that much belief and that much passion. I mean, this is one of the things that he is so good at, is relating to players and getting the best out of them. It is not impossible that they win the Super Bowl. It's not.
No.
It's become more difficult.
A lot more difficult.
They got to find another gear. But I think they just simply went from being we were all very comfortable with them being a team that was going to win the Super Bowl, probably too comfortable. When the reality was it was always hard, we were probably too comfortable with it. Now they're just in the pack. They're one of the contenders. And one of the contenders is going to win the Super Bowl. It's just not as easy to see it being the Lions as it was beforehand.
No, it's not, especially for me.
Losing Montgomery could potentially mean nothing. I mean, I would love to have it. But they're about to unleash Jahmyr Gibbs, who is in the top 6 in the NFL in yards from scrimmage, playing 54% of the snaps. Nobody else has a ratio like that. And the guys in front of him all played more than him. Now, give it Derrick Henry just a little bit more in terms of snap percentage, but definitely have gotten the ball more because out of all those guys, he averages the most yards per touch. He is one of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL who now is going to get unleashed. Kang pointed out the offenses carried teams the last 5 Super Bowls, not the defenses. Some of them had good defenses, but some of them had very average defense.
Well, last year the Chiefs, I mean, as good as Mahomes is, the defense won the Super Bowl.
But that was the outlier, the last 5 Super Bowl winners.
Exactly.
So, you can do it with a team that this year's offense is better than last year's. This year's special teams is still better than last year's. And last year's team came dangerously close to going to the Super Bowl. It took some uncharacteristic behavior to keep them from the Super Bowl. So, defense is going to be challenged.
By the way, we think last year's special teams is better. Badgley made a very big field goal in the playoffs.
We think this year's special teams is better.
Yeah, well, you think. I'm not so sure. Because last year Badgley did come through, and also last year they had Khalif Raymond that they don't this year. So I'm not so... And they had Dorsey, the best gunner in football last year. So I'm not going to sit there and break down special teams. I guess I am. But I'm not going to sit there and say that
what was Badgley's long?
What'd you say?
What was Badgley's long?
Did he kick either a 48, 40, whatever, the game against the Rams? He kicked that big field goal.
Yeah, he did kick a big field goal.
Yeah, it was in the 40...
Bates is 5 of 6 from beyond 50. And he has also kicked big field goals. And the return game, look, God bless you, but the return game isn't what it used to be.
All right. But I'm not convinced. You might, kicker, maybe. I'll give you that. But if you're going to look at the other aspects of the special teams, I mean, Jack Fox is just as good this year as he was last year, right?
Kickoffs still come out to the 30.
I know.
So maybe in the punt return game it's a step back.
Yeah.
I think they're better.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, I don't think it's over. And obviously Dan Campbell doesn't either. Here's more from Coach Campbell this morning. Why didn't the run game get going against Buffalo with their problems up front?
Yeah, oddly enough, it was one person here, one person there. And the scheme was pretty good. We felt like there was a couple of things we didn't like how we designed it. We put our guys in tough positions, but then after that, it was, man, we got everything we need on the front side, and then we don't get the backside block, or we're late, we don't get up on the snap count, or it's a receiver in here, it's the guard here, it's front side here. And it literally, we took turns, one by one, making those errors, and before the game kind of gets to where it's at, and now you're out of the run game completely. Because we ended up down. I mean, we only had 15 rushes, and certainly when you don't rush it good early in those, you're not going to continue to go back to them. It's just hard to do that. So we'll get all that cleaned up. I'm telling you, I'm really not losing sleep over that. I know we'll get those things corrected. Those guys will bounce back, and there again, for the way that thing turned out, we protected well. We really did. We did a solid job protection. Golf played really well. Guys made plays. It's just we can't put ourselves in that type of hole.
Okay, I got to tell you, the run game, I think it is a priority to reestablish that this weekend. And Stoney, I'm not chesty anymore, right? I'm not super over the top. Confident in this team at this point. I think they're in the mix now. They've come back to the pack. They're in the mix. I think is a requirement to get the run game going this weekend.
Kids.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that Jeffrey?
And hopefully, outside, cold, all that kind of stuff, they're going to have to be able to run the ball a little bit. And it's going to be a good test to see if Gibbs can take
He went to
some
Doherty.
The Bears do it. Despite what you saw last night, they have a pretty good.
All right, more from Dan Campbell this morning. How do you make up for the loss of David Montgomery? And it was a great question at the end where he again got fired up. We'll get to all that straight ahead. Jared Goff at 1:30 on 97.1 The Ticket. Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. They specialize only in auto and truck accidents. Many law firms don't specialize but focus on many different areas of the law. Wouldn't go to a doctor who specializes in all sorts of medicine, so why would you do that with your lawyer? Specialization really matters. Michigan's largest legal newspaper reviewed all the law firms in Michigan and called Michigan Auto Law arguably the best in the business. There's a level of care that comes with a Michigan Auto Law attorney, more like white glove attorney service. They care more so you win more. Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
97.1 The Ticket.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of better health with dedicated senior medical centers in Detroit. Imagine care teams who truly value you as a person and focus on providing compassionate, patient-focused care tailored to you. With doctors who listen and are experts in the healthcare needs of older adults, come discover the joy in feeling your best. To learn more, call 313-484-8008. Again, 313-484-8008 to schedule your visit and start a brighter, healthier new year.
This football season, tune in to Costa and Jansen every Monday morning at 9 a.m. to hear TJ Lang break down his past week's Lions game with his insider insights and expert analysis presented by Hollywood Casino at Greektown. It's Mondays with TJ right here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hungry Howie's is famous for flavor. Every hour of every day, our chief flavor officer is hard at work, making you the most delicious flavored crust pizzas at the most unbelievable prices. And he's cooking up a slice of Southern comfort. Try Hungry Howie's new chicken and waffles pizza. Crispy chicken, fluffy waffles, and bacon bits on 100% mozzarella and our famous flavored crust. All topped with a maple syrup drizzle. It's sweet, it's savory. It's gone before you know it. Get a large for $15.99. Pricing may vary.
Hungry?
Hi, this is Andy Newman, president and founder of Swift Home Loans. Mortgage rates are the lowest they've been in nearly 3 years, and now is the time to make sure you're not overpaying. At Swift, we take pride in getting our clients the best offer without compromising client service, which is what has made us the #1 mortgage brokerage in America. If you received a quote from another lender, give us a call and we will beat it and cover the upfront costs of your appraisal. This is our Swift guarantee. For more info, go to swifthomeloans.com or call 833-MY-SWIFT. That is 833-697-9438.
It's wintertime. Hey, Detroit. This is Tanya Lalonde from Summit Place Kia. Are you driving the best vehicle for freezing temperatures and icy roads? You should be driving a Kia. I'll give you the same deal that I give to my friends and family. Plus, we'll give you all the money for your local trade-in. Worried about your credit upside down in your trade? At Summit Place Kia, everybody rides. So come see me today during the Season of New Traditions sales event at Summit Place Kia in Clinton Township, Auburn Hills, and SummitPlaceKia.com.
You should be driving a Kia from Summit Place Kia. Summit Place Kia.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com.
Sports betting updates for pivotal games as they happen live. Get the latest on in-game prop bets, DFS, and more. Bet MGM tonight, weeknights 7 till 11 on the Bet 1270 and the Odyssey app.
Twitter today. Hope you're doing well. Look, people have been spending the last couple days lamenting the injuries. We just played Dan Campbell's approach. We heard what he had to say, the head coach of the Detroit Lions. And, of course, wanted to get the run game going. We played that as well. Here's more from Dan Campbell. Obviously, losing David Montgomery is a blow. I've made the case as to why. Of all the positions where they could most absorb an injury, it is running back because they have an elite option. Most teams don't have 2 running backs. Like, I'm not sure Kansas City even has 1. Philly's got 1. Baltimore's got 1. But most teams didn't have the luxury the Lions did. They've lost that luxury. Gibbs is an explosive running back. And I think now, out of necessity, he may get unleashed on the league. But how do you make up for the loss at number 5? Here's what Dan Campbell told the morning show.
Look, Gibbs is going to take on a bigger role here, and he's ready for that. He knows that. He understands that we'll use him, and the trick is really, maximizing the reps that we use him, but yet not killing him. I mean, he's needed, and he understands that, but we're still going to need some help out of Reynolds and Vaki and those guys, and that'll be the big thing here. But yeah, he's about to go up, and look, he's ready for this, man. He's gotten better and better all season, and now he's our lead horse. He's got to be ready to roll.
Look, we've talked about Gibbs a ton today. Craig Reynolds has never averaged below 4 yards a carry in his time in Detroit. And
how many carries?
He has 42 in his career, spread over 4 years.
Small samples.
It is. Not a lot has been asked of him, but it's like not a lot is asked of Vaki, and Vaki's well below 4 yards a carry. I mean, so he's good. He's an interesting option, and I think the fact that this is his 4th year in Detroit helps. We know he knows what to expect. We know what to expect from him. Kang, your guy Vaki, though, like, I know you didn't want it for this purpose, but it's going to be intriguing to see if he fits in at all. Like, because they weren't running Reynolds, so I don't know why they'd run Vaki if Reynolds becomes the 2, but might be they use him in different situations.
Oh, the truth is ready. And he's got the legs of LaDainian Tomlinson, the voice of Fergie. He is ready to step in on any role you need. Even defensive back, we already know that. He played a lot of safety at Utah. But seriously, though, Vaki and Ben Johnson, this is like a Swiss Army knife, right? Ben Johnson I'm sure he has some packages ready now that they kind of have to elevate everyone a little bit.
The Vaki package.
Exactly.
I actually am more intrigued about him than I am about Reynolds.
Oh, I am too. I think we know what Craig Reynolds is. That he might come in there in short yardage situations and things like that. But as far as someone that could possibly make a difference as far as, breaking some runs and things like that, I think it's Sione Vaki. But you just heard the Campbell cut. Gibbs is going to get a bulk of the carries now moving forward, as he should.
Yep. I mean, they're asking him to do it for what we hope is 6 games. And it's not a huge ask. He's got less wear and tear than all the other top backs in the NFL.
And we all agree it's better to have Reynolds than try to get somebody off a practice squad like Royce Freeman, Dalvin Cook, former Lion, Xavier Knight, or Michael Carter, just to name 4.
Yeah, if you take someone off somebody's practice squad, you have to put them on your active 53-man roster. And, I mean, they could do that because David Montgomery will be taken off the roster. But it feels like the more prudent thing to do is just elevate Jamar Jefferson. He'll probably play special teams and then sign a guy off the street that becomes your practice squad back. Yeah. But those are interesting names.
Yeah, and Brad Holmes has done masterful things before.
And the funny thing about it is, not that it's been great the last couple weeks, but the offensive line, you put somebody out there, they're going to see more daylight than in most places.
Right. That, we always talked about that the whole team was built basically on the foundation of this offensive line. And the offensive line, for whatever reason, has certainly not been top 5, let alone top 2 or top 1 the last 2 to 3 weeks. And they got to get their, collective heads out of their and start playing football.
Also, Stoney is small samples.
That's the truth. Exactly.
Okay, sense of urgency. What's the sense of urgency going into this stretch run? Here's Dan Campbell.
Urgency will not be an issue this week, I can promise you that. We're going to be ready to roll, man. Our guys are going to walk in the door and they're going to be hyped tomorrow, and they're going to be ready to practice. We're going to get that bad taste out of our mouth, and we're going to go out to Chicago, and we're going to play much better.
You know what I love? The way he started that, it almost sounded like when he said urgency, I promise you will not be an issue. It almost felt like the way he said that, and if you think it's going to be an issue, I will drive over there and kick your ass. That's the way I took it. Play the beginning of that again. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it sound like that?
Urgency will not be an issue this week, I can promise you that. We're going to be ready to roll, man. Our guys are going to walk in the door, and they're going to be hyped tomorrow, and they're going to be ready to practice. We're going to get that bad taste out of our mouth, and we're going to go out to Chicago, and we're going to play much better.
It's almost like, say it again. I dare you to say it again.
Well, we know what it says on Dan Campbell's wallet. He is one bad MFer.
Hey, a movie reference I actually understand.
That's right.
Pulp Fiction. Jules Winthorpe?
Winfield.
Winfield?
You were close.
I was close.
Winthrop is my fictional chauffeur that's been going around for a few decades.
Is that the guy standing outside the studio this whole time?
Winthrop, yeah.
Nice guy.
A very proper gentleman.
Always Winthrop. Always look for them for a big upset in the first round.
That's right. Need to pay attention to. All right, so anyway, that's the best of what Dan Campbell had to share with the morning show. But hey, I just want to mention this real quick because it's worthy of mention. I happened to watch last night's Piston game. Wild,
unbelievable,
a wild game.
I was watching. I gotta say, I fell asleep on the couch. Evan texted me because about we do the Restore the Floor podcast. He goes, they're like actually looking good. Then he texts back, and I'm still asleep, so I didn't get it. He goes, forget what I just said. Then I woke up and saw all of overtime. And I said, wait a second. They were up by 19.
They were up by 19 in the fourth quarter.
There were 8 minutes left in the game when they were up by 19.
So Miami charges back with a lot of help from a very stagnant Detroit offense. Turnovers, bad shots, everybody watching Cade. And Miami forces overtime. And then in overtime, I got to double check this. Miami scored the first 8.
Yes, and then Tim Hardaway hit 3 straight threes.
And that was all the scoring in overtime. Is that right? That was
I think. Oh no, Cade was fouled. They had a foul to give, and then Hardaway throws the ball away. And I thought, oh great, they're going to lose.
Pistons are up 1, like 10 seconds, 8 seconds left, whatever it is, and Hardaway throws away the inbound pass. Yeah. And Tyler Hero takes a ridiculous 3 that goes in for him because many of his threes are ridiculous. Hardaway hit 3 shots, bang, 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 and they erased an 8-point deficit.
What I don't understand for the tying one in regulation, I mean, foul. There was 5. You're up 3.